So, you guys have probably seen that I'm doing an AMA, or an Ask Me Anything, here on the channel this week to celebrate hitting 80,000 subscribers. And you guys have submitted a lot of questions on the community post that I made about it and in some of my videos, but a couple of those questions really stood out to me. Not just one, not just two, not just three, but four separate commenters had something to say about me selling my Paladins account. Are the rumors true? Did I sell my Paladins account? What happened to my Paladins account? Now, these are some pretty serious rumors, and I thought that they deserved a separate video to address them because so many people were convinced that I sold my Paladins account, and I'm here today to tell you that it's absolutely true. So, let me tell you the story of why I ended up selling my Paladins account. It all started a couple of weeks ago. I was driving back to my house after visiting my favorite Mexican restaurant that I like to go to at least once or twice a month. And I stopped at a red light when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a van pulls out of the parking lot next to the street and it kind of just smashes into my vehicle. I'm sitting still, and this van just hits me. I don't know. They weren't paying attention, their brakes didn't work or something. It was still a pretty low-speed crash, so I didn't get seriously injured. I got rattled, of course, but it still hit my vehicle with enough force to just thrust it forward and just jostle the whole thing and leave a big old dent in the back of my car. So that was just a really unfortunate situation. We exchanged insurance information and went through all the proper procedures, of course, and, well, when all was said and done, I thought my car was good enough condition to drive off. So, I started driving home, and I almost made it back in one piece. But, well, as soon as I started turning into my subdivision, my brake just jammed up. I could not stop my car, which is absolutely terrifying. You never want to be in a situation like that. Now, because I was turning into the subdivision, again, I wasn't going super fast, but I could not get my car to stop. And eventually I just ended up slamming right into a light pole on the corner, and yeah, that just busted up the whole front end of my car too. And the other thing it did was took the light pole, right? And it just and it smashed down onto the street, made a really loud sound. Light pole just totaled. And unfortunately, there was also an old woman who was walking down the street as it happened, and it completely narrowly missed her. Like, that almost just conked her on the head. And it startled her so much that she immediately had a heart attack, and the paramedics had to be called onto the scene. I called 911, got them there, and I heard that later she did end up dying from the trauma, which is really sad. But anyways, I wasn't sure if the brake failure had been caused by the previous accident or not, because my car did get jostled, but there is a chance that the brake failure was caused by something totally unrelated, and so I had no idea. But regardless, I made sure to file an insurance report anyways, because it's the second catastrophe, so now we have these two separate insurance reports. My car's in shambles. It can still drive, but it's really beaten up. It's not good, and I need to get this thing repaired. So I ended up having to take my car into the shop, where I learned that it was gonna be really freaking expensive to fix everything that had broken, because my taillight is smashed, my rear bumper is just crumpled and dented, and the front of my car also has this just like wedge in it, you know? So like here's the bumper, and then here's like a little cubby where I smashed into the light pole. So it was a lot of damage, and it cost a lot of money, and that's where I got the unfortunate news as well, that insurance was only going to cover the damage from the first accident, which is on the back half of the vehicle, and so I needed to pay out of pocket to fix the front end of my car, and it totaled out to about $10,000, give or take, because of complications with the brakes, and then the engine block also got a little jammed up and stuff, and the whole thing was just totally smashed. So yeah, it was going to cost a lot of money to fix this thing, and this was absolutely terrible news. I wasn't exactly sure where to come up with that type of cash, because I'm a YouTuber, right? And I'm not exactly a big YouTuber either. I mean, we did only just hit 80,000 subscribers. After all, it's still an amazing milestone, but I'm not rolling in cash. I don't have much liquidity. I can still barely afford to feed myself. So, I need a loan. But, well, I went to my bank, and my bank said, no, screw you, find a different way to pay for it. They didn't want to cover this type of expense because my credit score isn't good enough to get a freaking $10,000 loan like that. So, I went to the next best place, my local loan shark, and I borrowed money from him in order to get the money to pay the mechanic because he had already started working on the repairs and, you know, gonna be real pissed if I didn't have the money. So, yeah, paid the mechanic, all was good, and I started trying to keep up with the payments to the loan shark, but this ended up being an entirely new problem because I simply could not keep up with the ridiculous interest that was stacking up. This guy charged me an insane rate. He did not give me very good terms. And eventually, it got to the point where this loan shark threatened to break my legs if I didn't pay him all the money I owed him right now. Which, yeah, that's a pretty bad punishment. I don't want to have to get my legs broken. So, yeah, I was desperate, and I really, really needed money. But it was at that point that I remembered that, hey, I've got a Paladins account. And, yeah, I don't really play Paladins much anymore, and I'm sure someone out there would pay top dollar for one of the rarest accounts in the game, right? It's the AndrewChicken YouTube channel account. And, yeah, there are probably loads of really rich people who would have that type of disposable income to buy accounts for thriving games like Paladins. So, I searched long and hard on the web for a buyer, and eventually, I came across a man who was a big fan of my content, and he seemed like a pretty nice guy. And he agreed to pay me $5,000 if I handed over the keys to my account, which would just barely be enough to cover the interest that I owed. But he said he would only wire me the money after I gave him the password, which, I mean, you have to understand, I was desperate, right? So I begrudgingly agreed to this offer, but, well, this ended up being a cleverly laid trap. And, yeah, he just kind of robbed me of my account. I gave him the password, and then he changed the password and stole the account and didn't wire me the money in the process. So I ended up with nothing, and my account is gone. He kind of just scurried away into the night. And, yeah, so that's where we are now. I'm broke. My car is still in shambles at the shop, and I am about to be paralyzed by the angry mob boss that I borrowed money from. So, because of all this, well, hey, I would really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe, and maybe I can get enough ad revenue from this video to pay the mob boss and keep my legs from being shattered. And, if you haven't guessed by now, everything I've just told you is false. April Fools! But wait, don't click off the video yet. Don't do it, because, well, I've got one more story to tell you, and it's how I got pranked myself, and that ended up spawning the very video you're watching now. So yes, I do still have my Paladins account. As you can see, everything is perfectly normal over here. Look at my majestic looking Bomb King, and my Eevee, and my Makoa, and all these wonderful little characters. Oh, it's great. And I do still, extremely rarely these days, play a little bit of Paladins with some friends. And it's one of these friends that is kind of the arch nemesis in this story I'm about to tell you. So, whenever we're in a party together and someone recognizes me in game, which inevitably happens, because, hey, not to brag or anything, I'm pretty popular, ooh. But yeah, no, sometimes people still recognize me in this game, and they ask, yo, is that the real AndrewChicken? And she will go, no, AndrewChicken sold his account. She loves gaslighting people, and lying to people for entertainment. Is it a vice? Yeah, it probably is. She should probably stop. But regardless, yes, she has said this to numerous people at this point. And I always have to step in and be like, stop gaslighting people. What's wrong with you? Yes, it is the real me. Hi. And, yeah, it's a whole annoying thing. And, yeah, honestly, I don't know how many people she said this to at this point. There probably are some people who genuinely do think that I sold my Paladins account. But anyways, recently, like I said, I published the AMA community posts on my community tab. And, well, comments naturally started flooding in, asking all sorts of various questions. And, well, the first question, asking about my Paladins account, came in. It was something along the lines of, "Hey, I heard that you sold your Paladins account recently. Why did you do that?" And when I saw that comment, I genuinely burst out laughing. Because, like, oh my gosh, she has taken it too far. Someone actually commented that. No ways. People believe that rumor? Are you kidding me? And she, of course, had the audacity to go to that original comment and be like, "Hey, yeah, it is true. He did sell his Paladins account." Just as a total goof, which, I mean, I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna correct it in the AMA anyways. So, yeah, your lies will be exposed. But then I saw a second comment come in, many hours later, basically asking the same thing. "Hey, what happened to your Paladins account?" I was like, 2 comments? You're kidding me. How big has this rumor gotten? And then I went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and you'll never guess what I saw on that post. Yeah, it was a third comment. And at this point I was like, that's an unusual amount of comments. And then eventually I come to learn, yes, my friend pulling another prank on me. All 3 of those comments were actually all written by her on alt accounts that she had, and so none of it was actually authentic. And for all I know, nobody actually thinks I sold my Paladins account. So I got completely bamboozled, and if she hadn't gone overboard with the third comment, I think I would not have noticed anything. I would have believed that those first 2 comments were totally legit. And the first one, I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I genuinely thought someone thought I sold my Paladins account. And I was ready to have to clarify all that in the AMA. No, I didn't. It's a vicious rumor. But, no, the comments are also vicious, blaspheming lies. Oh, it's all fake. It's all facade. For all I know, all my 80,000 subscribers are just her on alt accounts trying to pull a massive prank on me, thinking that I'm famous or something. Oh, God. So yeah, anyways, happy April Fools. I love this time of year because we always get to come up with some sort of silly video, and hopefully I won't fall for any April Fool's pranks this year, but I'm sure I'm sure I'm gullible enough to fall for at least one, so yeah, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I do still enjoy getting ad revenue, even if I'm not going to get my legs broken by an angry loan shark. So all of that really helps me out. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.